Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Alpha to Omega journey. And while I was at work today, I was thinking, what are we missing in our high-tech life on this journey? What can we use to our advantage that we just normally don't think about? And while I was thinking on that, I was also kind of reminiscing on my the journey that my alts went on. As you'll know, my alts pretty much started their life, kind of hung around for a bit, did very little, and the money they made was actually through the blueprints that were in the Concord Pass. And while those blueprints have been removed, we have been left with one other money-making method in the Concord Pass that normally I just don't think about. And it's usually because I assume that whatever item we get is going to be either locked to our account or just not available to sell in the market at all anyway. And the one item, let's go ahead and move over to Gina first, because I want to be in Gina when I accept these items. And this will be a very, very important
Autopilot
um,
engaged.
money-making thing for an
Undocking.
alpha. Yeah. So, man, this is going to shoot our income through the roof because of
Warp
Concord
drive
Pass.
active.
And it's not really something that I have thought about a whole lot because I was so focused on the blueprints that we used to have in the Concord Pass and just thought, the rest of it's not really worth it. How you doing, Azim? It's good to see you. And I did actually do this on my main account. I did actually do this on my main account to
Warp
make
drive
sure that it
active.
could be achieved on an alpha. Because I wasn't really sure whether those materials would be account locked or clone bound, I should say. But they're not. It is our last free to play huge money making
Destiny
ISK.
docking request accepted.
Well, that's good, Azim. I just got done with my shift about an hour ago. So let's go ahead and hit the Concord Pass. And we are going to hit. Oh, God. We're going to hit up here. And right at the bottom, hiding between all of this stuff that you can't sell, is the Concord Pass Nanocore Material Deluxe supply. Within this box, you can choose one of four options. And the math that I did recently, about 15 minutes ago, the Disruption Nanocore is worth about 30 million ISK. The Offense Nanocore, the materials that you get from that, is going to be worth about 45 million ISK. The Industry Nanocore materials here are worth in total 60 million ISK. Now, I'm not including taxes on that. And the Defense Nanocore materials are worth 61 million ISK. So even if we get 55 million from each of our defense boxes, that means we will be able to outright buy our battle cruisers today with 4 boxes. So let's go ahead and pick up 4 boxes. I can actually almost get 6 boxes, but I don't want to spend that much because I need those loyalty points to get a battlecruiser box from subsequent Concord passes. So we need 2 full Concord passes. That is 18,000 Concord points for alphas. We need 2 full of those, and then we would also need a little bit extra to make the 39,000 for the rest of that box. And we would get 32,000 from the 2 full Concord passes. So let's look at we would need to save about 7,000 points. So we are overdoing it just a little bit with 4 boxes. So we'll start with 3 and see if we can afford our ships with just 3 boxes. If you're an alpha that, wow, look at that, 200 short. If you are an alpha that is struggling for money and you are very far away from any kind of like nanocore and you're not really planning on getting a nanocore for a while, you don't need the materials, but you really need the money, this will be your way to do it. So like I said, our best option here is actually the defense box, and only slightly better than the industry box. Alright, so we've got 300 of these that we can sell. On the market, we can sell them at a normal price, or we can sell them to someone for around 500,000. And it's not too bad as you go down, but don't go too far. That's if you really want the money right now. So we're going to hit the sell now option because only 203 of them can actually sell. Right there. That is 91 million ISK just from those 203. We're also going to sell off these for another 43 million ISK. Are we keeping track of this? Well, that is currently 134 million from just those items alone. and then we're going to make another 37 million. So that is 171 million we've just made by doing the Concord Pass for a little bit. I think if we're aiming for Omega, we might skip out on the Battlecruiser Nanocore, and that might be our moneymaker. That is a huge amount of money just from 3 boxes. In one full Concord pass, we can get 7 boxes. Assuming that each box sells at that same rate of 170-ish million. On one Concord Pass, if you sell each one, it's going to be worth 1.2 billion ISK. That is 1 month of Concord. Just by doing Concord, you can afford Omega every month. Not including all of the ISK you gain from grinding the Concord Pass. That is a significantly better and faster way of achieving our goal. Yes, we won't be able to use those materials to get an upgraded nanocore, but with our first month of Omega, under us, we'll be able to make a lot more money. Oh man. That is a huge, huge revelation. Let's see. 279. Let me see, what are they selling at? 505, that's fine. $39. Yeah, I didn't really think you could make that much off of the Concord boxes. That is way crazier than I ever thought it would be. I was used to the blueprints being like 97 million per blueprint, and it was not that bad. Because the way I used to do it was with the blueprints. That is a much better proposition. That means, as an alpha, you can pretty much put yourself in Omega, in your first month of doing Concord Pass. Yeah. Yeah, I've always kind of just saved my Concord points and dumped them into nanocores that I can reprocess or exchange for points for the AI core. But thinking about it in this way, now that the blueprints are no longer an option, it makes me realize how important Concord Pass is for Omegas and Alphas. It is way more important. And now we have a question to ask. Do we wait for the end of this Concord Pass? Because we're really not that far off. I believe it ends at the end of next week. And then, like, 3 days after that or a week after that, we'll get another Concord Pass. We fill all that out and we sell off everything we get. About halfway through that Concord Pass, we should be able to get our Omega. And that means we won't actually have to upgrade to the Prophecy right away. Because we won't even be able to fly it by then. How many more boxes can I get? I said I could almost get 6, so 3 more boxes is gonna get me another 171 million. That would put us at 409 million-ish. I didn't think we would be this close with just what we have. Maybe my math is off a little bit. Let me just recheck everything. So we just got 171 from 3 boxes. That means on average we made 57 million per box. Okay, it's a lot worse. My math was a little off, but we're still gonna do this, I think. Okay, so we'd have to do this, like, a lot more. My math was way off. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's only actually, approximately, like, 400 million per Concord Pass for Alphas. Unless you buy the upgraded Concord Pass. But it's still way better than what we're doing. Okay. I see. Yeah, my math was off by quite a bit, but it would take 3 Concord passes to do it still. Can you still... No, you have to use Aurum. You can't use Plex. Man, if we could claim all of this bottom tier with Plex, that would be so nice. Hmm. Man, what do we do? Do we buy the battle cruisers? We can probably put up a buy order for like 180 or 190 million. That's cheaper. That is a choice. Do we use all of our Concord points for ISK, or do we use it for a nanocore? ISK means we'll get 2 Omega faster. And we can keep the Vexor and do the Concord passes for the next 3 months. 2 months. By that time, between our grinding and our Concord pass, we'll afford a Mega probably just as we enter Tech 7, and we'll also have ISK to spare. That might be the way to do it. I think we hold off on the battle cruisers for now. While we are here, though, we're gonna get some drone damage amplifiers. Since I don't need the I don't need the damage control right now. We haven't had a reason to use it. And I also need to upgrade the missiles. Why are Republic fleets so much more expensive? I'm buying 3 of them so that way when we do get to the battlecruiser, we'll have that ready. We're going for some very hefty upgrades today. Oh yeah, what a difference. There you go. This is our new DPS for now. The upgrade to the battlecruiser would only give us about, I believe, 100 DPS over this, but it would be much tankier. And we still can't fly it for another, what are we at? 64 more days. I think I'm gonna do the thing that I'm thinking about. I think it'll be way better for us to do this. Okay, I need to check the market and see if there's enough to handle 900. There is. And make sure there's enough to handle 90 of these on the market. There are. Would I do better with this though? 90 of those. But these are way less expensive. Okay. Defense, defense, defense. Okay, so now we have 347 million ISK on our accounts. Let's do some math here. Means I can buy 9 boxes by the end of next Concord Pass. And if each one continues to sell at 57 million, that is 522 million. That would put us, by the end of next Concord Pass, we would be at 867 million, not including the grinded ISK we get, which would probably be somewhere in the range of like 100 million. Because we did 3 days of grinding on Tech 6, which gave us 60 million. So I can expect probably 100 pretty easily. Yeah. Realistically, by the end of next Concord Pass, we're like touching Omega, which would still give us one more full month to grind for any ship we would want. That's so huge.
Autopilot engaged. Undocking.
Concord Pass is so essential to an alpha player with that one box.
Warp drive active.
you will have to check every single time you go to sell those materials. You'll have to check which box is the most ISK. What a
Warp
huge
drive
upgrade.
active. Docking request accepted.
Alright, so the rest of our goal today will be to finish off the Concord Pass for these characters, and then I want to go over to my Omega. So that means I need 11 points on this character, and I need 43 points on this character. We can attain that by doing 2 encounters. And 1 encounter here. Very nice, very easy. So let's find our 2 encounters and our 1 encounter. There's our 1 encounter. And I guess we'll be going to Barent. I should do a higher end mission than that. Because this is a 450. I might as well do another 450. And that's such a good day when you realize something that you haven't thought about has made such a huge difference in the progression of the account.
Undocking. Autopilot engaged. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Hey, let's see how the new fit
Fleet warp.
performs. We have better
Warp
missiles,
drive active.
and we have a drone damage amplifier, which will make our drones better in general. Go ahead and activate all of our drone damage amplifiers. It's not a huge increase for us, but 350 DPS is significantly better than what we were doing.
We're under attack. Enemy ships detected. Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. We're under attack. Shield damaged. Fleet warp.
Warp drive active.
know, it makes me so happy actually being able to see these accounts pull some serious weight when it comes to making ISK in the game. And because we will be at Omega before we can actually be in Tech 7, I think what we will do is get into a Vexor Navy when it becomes available to us once we have Omega, because that Vexor Navy is going to put us significantly ahead. And we'll only be in the Vexor Navy for like a month or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, something like that, before we would step into a battle cruiser.
Enemy ships detected.
The Vexor Navy shares
We're under
the
attack.
same skills as our battle
We're
cruiser,
under attack.
and so training into a Vexor Navy means that we can step into the battle cruiser at a much better position.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Well,
We're
as
under
if
attack.
we're gonna be at Omega by the end of the next Concord Pass, which is pretty possible depending on how much we want to grind, we'd have to pretty much put in 300 million between the next
We're under attack.
two Concord, between this Concord Pass and the next one. We could step into the Vexor Navy before we get into the battle cruisers, which would increase our ISK making capacity quite a bit with its increased drone damage skills. I don't know, it's just a thought. Since we won't be able to
Autopilot engaged.
fly the battle cruiser before we're available for Omega,
Warp drive active.
so long as prices kind of remain the same as what they currently are, which, you know, can be a problem. But prices haven't changed all that much.
Shield damaged.
but we would only fly a Vexor Navy for like 2 weeks
Warp
before
drive
we would
active.
step into a battlecruiser. So I don't know if it's really worth spending the 50 million ISK just to fly a ship for 2 weeks. Or 3 weeks. Man, I was really planning on, like, having to
Destination
grind
reached.
all the way through Tech 7 before we even had a chance at hitting Omega. Yeah, I agree, it's probably not worth it. We would
Warp
much
drive
rather just
active.
skill into the advanced skills and be ready to purchase a battlecruiser. And then at Tech 7, we'll have an Omega battlecruiser. We don't even need to worry about not having skills for it. And I like the fact that this is available to all alpha players. It's not something that's like kind of rare to happen or like a once in a month kind of loot drop. It's not like we're doing anything that any alpha couldn't do. It's literally available all the time.
We're under attack.
That is precisely what I wanted this Alpha to Omega journey to be. Something that is always available to the Alphas, safe to do, and will reward you with Omega in a reasonable amount of time.
Enemy ships detected.
Being able to just start Tech 7 at Omega is wildly important. Tech 7 and 8 missions, no, Tech 8 missions are where we start seeing
Enemy ships detected.
Man, I don't know that we would actually want to start Tech 7 as Omega. I think we would still be better off waiting for the next tech level, for being ready for Tech 8. Because we're just doing the same missions that we've been doing at Tech 7. And it's just not quite enough money to reasonably make enough to offset whatever we make from Concord. if we're making 400 million on Concord, yeah, I'm thinking we would have to wait to tap out at Tech 7. But as soon as we can purchase Omega, I think that's where I would want to end this series. Because that was the whole goal, was to be able to afford Omega. As an alpha. Okay, so that means our Concord passes should be completed. What? Why are you not complete? You're not at your daily limit. I guess I have to wait for the bounty tick? Or we just do 4 more encounters. Or I wait for the reset in a day. I think I just wait for the reset in one day.
Autopilot engaged.
Yeah, making like 600 or 700 million
Warp drive active.
at Tech 8 is much easier to do than trying to make that amount of money with the current missions that we're doing.
Docking request accepted.
We're struggling to do 20 million in a day, or my average day. Nice. Yep. Did that give me my Concord pass? No, of course not. We could just leave this character online for a bit. And it'll pass that. Alright, are we ready to see what we get out of this box, whether it's worth something or not? Like I said, we can get 40 million. Oh, but as an Omega, if we start Omega early, we can actually start mining Planetary. That's worth 100 million a week. Easily. Dang it, man. That's such a hard choice. Right, let's see what we get out of this box. Magnate, Breeze 2. What's it worth? What are you betting? Okay, it's about the same as the other one. Cool. we're gonna make a lot more money doing planetary. Let's see. So on planetary, we'll start with, what is it, 3 or 4 levels of planetary as soon as we access 3 levels of planetary. That is 2 mining arrays and how many planets? Is it just 1 planet? And then we can put our skills into getting level 4 and then putting as many points into level 4 advanced planetary. Four planets default for Omega. And you only gain a 5th and a 6th, right? 1 planet, 2 planets. You sure? Three planets. 4 planets. It might be 2 planets default. Yeah, because I think 6 planets is max, or 7 planets? I don't know. Are you sure it's 4 planets default? You can get 2 planets for this, 2 planets for that, and 1 planet for that. I think 1 planet is default. Because I have 6 planets on my main, and I have these skills all maxed out. I think 1 planet is default, and then you can gain 4 pretty easily. Alright, I will leave you with those thoughts here. Thank you for joining me today. We have been very successful. We upgraded our fit to 321 DPS. We have relearned and learned a good way to make ISK as an alpha, and now we have the burning question in our soul of whether to start Omega early and rely on Concord plus planetary interaction in order to make our money, which means we would have to somehow make 1.2 billion within one Concord pass, we would get 400 million of that from the Concord Pass itself, along with whatever we can earn from Planetary. So if we can math out what the best high-sec money-making Planetary is, that is reasonably close to Gina. I know my current maxed out character will make 43 million a day. So, and that is running only fuel as our planets. Let's think on that and figure it out. Thank you all so much for joining me, and have a good day.